Hello everyone, it's Sheila back on this quite a cold September Wednesday morning. I couldn't believe it when I got up this morning, and I think it was about 7 degrees in my house and I was freezing. I do have central heating, but I have one of those convector. Used to have a gas fire years ago, but the council in their infinite wisdom decided that they didn't want to service gas fires in our houses anymore. So I didn't realise when they were putting new heating system in, and I thought it was getting a gas fire. They showed me a picture which I thought, was like a coal effect fire thing, and I thought it was a gas one, but it had the coal effect on, because there's no way I would have let them taken my gas fire out. But it was too late when I realised, and I looked and I realised it was an electric convector thing. I really done my nut, but it was too late. It was already done. I think one day, I'm going to get that changed. I'm going to pay for it myself. I'm going to have it changed and have a gas fire put back in, because I know the council will probably not service it because it won't be theirs. But I think, if I do that, I think they do have to still service things like that. Because there was a lot of people refused to have the gas fires taken out, but I didn't realise they were doing that at the time. And anyway, it's next to useless. I am sitting here at my coffee table, and the edge of the coffee table is there's probably about, as far as you can see on the screen, that much distance between where the fire is, and I can hardly feel any heat off it. Any heat just seems to go up in the air, and I never feel it. So it's very rare I put it on, but I did this morning just to warm it up without having to put the heating on. But it has got up to, I think it's getting up to about 11 or 12 degrees today. The sun is shining, so it feels a little bit warmer in my living room. I'll just check what it says on my phone for what temperature we got. 12 degrees, and we have had a shower too. Oh, I'll check and see what it's going to be tomorrow. It'll be 6 degrees when I get up tomorrow morning, and it's only going to be about 11 degrees in the afternoon. I cannot believe it. This is still, it's only the beginning of September. I think in all my 78 years, I don't think I've ever remembered a year as bad as this for the summer. That's it on there anyway. And I am casting on where I check my pattern. It's nice to be able to, I know it's working from my own pattern, but it's nice to be able to read the pattern and not have to work everything out before I do anything. So I'm onto the sleeves and I have to cast on 37 stitches. 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 29. I have 29, so 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. So that's got my 37 stitches cast on for the sleeve. The first sleeve I've done there. The second black cardigan I've done the back. So it'll not be long. I'll be able to get these finished and get them sent off to Rhiannon. I think they're probably school cardigans. I think that's probably what they're for. There's no school anywhere around where I live that have black. Or the school colours. I think it's a very harsh colour for a child anyway. It's one front and you can hardly see because of the black just blends in. So anyway, that's the back and the two fronts I've done for the for that cardigan. Not take long to do the 2 sleeves and put the band on and the band down the front. And see, now I'm back to my knitting, and I am actually having a cup of tea here, more to warm my hands up, because my hands have been cold, but I'm loath to put my heating on at this time of year. But I have more cups of tea when it's cold like this, because I can warm my hands up on the cup. And you know, with the government taking that the heating allowance, the fuel allowance, or whatever you call it, of people that don't have pension credit or other benefits, it's going to make it a little bit more expensive, because I lost it from the company. I'm with Scottish Power as well for my company, so I lost it from them as well, because you have to have pension credit to get it off them. So anyway, I'm going to cast on these, but I'm back to my normal self after funeral on Monday. A very long day that was. I was down my granddaughter's. My granddaughter was driving us down there. We're going down in her car. There was no way I was driving all that distance. I don't think I could do that nowadays. Maybe it's in daylight, but it was dark when we were coming back. But we left about 8:30 and got down about 11 o'clock down to my son's first. The funeral was 1 o'clock, and it was my son's stepdaughter's, Charlotte, her name was. It was her fiancé that had been killed in a car crash. He was only 29 years old, just a young fella. Apparently had come out of one road to join a major road, and for some reason didn't see it's supposed to be an accident black spot, actually, somewhere around Worksop where they were living. Can't remember exactly where it was, but he was pulling out into the road, and this car coming down at 60 miles an hour was smashed into the side of his car, and hit him. His brain was injured. His brain, I think he was dead at the scene, but the people that were in the car that crashed into him managed to give him the got him going again, brought him back again, but there was no life in his brain when he got to the hospital. He was just the same as dead. And so that was about 5 weeks ago it happened, actually. So me and my granddaughter Cheryl, because Charlotte is my step granddaughter, and Charlotte and Cheryl are step sisters, because my son took up with Charlotte's mother when Charlotte was about 2.5. But she's always looked on my son as a dad, even though they've parted now. They parted about 8 years ago, after about 17 years. Nothing bad on my son's side. It was her mother decided they didn't want to be together anymore, and so there was a lot of animosity when they parted and that. But Charlotte still liked to go and see her dad, as she called my son, and she always looked on me as a grandmother. So I had only met the young man, me and Cheryl had only met the young man the one time, was round about just before Christmas, the last time we went down to see them. But we went down to support Charlotte and my son, because we knew he'd be more or less by himself, because it would be all Charlotte's mother's family, and the young man was called Andy. It would have been all his family as well, so he would have been felt like an odd one out. But my son has a girlfriend now, and she was there as well because she knew the young man, and so there was the 4 of us, which we know when we were there he would have been left out, because we were more or less by ourselves all the time there. And we had to go to my son's ex's house, because the hearse was leaving from there, and we went into that house, and I was glad to get out. The atmosphere, you could have cut the air with a knife. I said when they got out to my son, we should have just sat in the car outside and waited until the hearse came and then we could follow it on. But anyway, we had that over with and then went for a meal afterwards with me, Cheryl, my son's Tony. Well, his name's Anthony, actually, he always gets Tony. And his girlfriend, Steph. We all went for a meal to the Brewers Fair. I think that's what it was called. And then back to my son's house for a little while, a bit more chat and that, and I think we started off home about 7:30, so it was around about 10 o'clock when I got home. And my granddaughter, I left my car in my granddaughter's place and was just going to drive back home, and I'd had one drink at the after the funeral. We went to this place, I don't forget what it was called. We went for the wake, and I had one drink, which would have been around about 2 o'clock, vodka and orange juice. And my granddaughter saying to me, "You shouldn't be driving home." And I know you. I says, "Look at Cheryl." I says, "It was 8 hours ago and I had that drink." But she says, "Well, you better phone me when you get home to make sure." I said to her, I go out every Thursday, I have one drink, I have a vodka and orange juice, and that lasts me all night. I said, and I drive home after that. But but it was a day, it was quite a hard day actually. But I did get home about 10 o'clock and I thought, I'll just I felt really tired, not even though I'd been sitting in the car. I did do just a slight little bit crochet on the way down. I'll get it out here. I can find the ball there. Yeah, I did a little bit crochet in the car because my granddaughter was driving for a change. I wasn't driving. So I did that little bit. That'll be another little pouch to sell when I get it finished. That was as much as I got done because I did an awful lot of talking in the car with me and Cheryl never shut up all the way down there. So I was having to keep concentrating on what I was doing. But I thought when I came back, I'll just have a look on my computer and just, check emails and things like that and on YouTube and all that before I go to bed. Don't know what it was, but I opened up my computer and I couldn't remember what the password was to get into my computer. I opened it up every day and just automatically printed in. I know exactly what it is, but I don't know whether it was everything all day and everything in my mind. I just could not remember. But I do have a little book where I write a lot of passwords in because I do forget passwords. I wish I didn't have to have passwords for everything because I can't remember them. And I thought to myself, I've put that password in for because I have 3 laptops and they all have a different password. So I picked up my little book and I looked, computer passwords there. I had under C computer passwords and there they all were and it told me what the password was. And I remembered as soon as I seen it, but I just could not remember it at the time. It's funny, this computer that I'm using, it's a Dell. This one's a Dell. Other one's an Acer and I have an HP one. Well, this Dell one, the other two, I had to put passwords in. This, when you set it up, it wouldn't let me finish setting it up without the password. But this one, the Dell one, when I first got it, I set it up. It's about 5 or 6 years old, I think it is. When I first set it up, I could set it up without the password because I hate passwords and there's nothing in my computer that anyone can't see. There's nothing for anyone to steal or anything like that. So to me, I don't need a password. But I had some trouble with it and I went through a process and fixed what the problem that was wrong with it and all that. And I had to put a whole new operating system in, start from scratch and everything in it. And when I tried to do it this time, it wouldn't let me finish putting the operating system in without the password. And I thought, it's my computer, why do I have to put a password in if I don't want a password? But It wouldn't let me do it. I had to put that password in. That's why I've got a password in it now. But anyway, I caught up with a little bit knitting yesterday, but didn't get very much done. But today has been very cold, quite cold for this time of year, but it's been lovely and sunny, even though I've had a shower. And I got that little bit done, and then I have one or two other. I have two more little cardigans to do, and then I can get on with all the large adult ones that I have to do. But I'll show you the white one I have been doing. I've got the wool wrapped around the... I've put those little needle stopper things that one of my subscribers sent to me, the ones in the little box there. I put them on there, and I just had sellotape on the end because this was a circular needle. This is a bamboo circular needle that I cut in half to make a pair of needles with the cable on, because it's quite a good size. I think it's actually longer than my ordinary needle, I think. Just slightly longer, so I can get just one or two more extra stitches on. And those little balls fit great on the end. I've pushed it in as far as it can go, and I have difficulty getting it off again, but I think I'm going to take it off and put just a little drop of super glue in and push it back on again so that it stays on permanently. And I have that with one or two other ones. I have cut some other ones in half. This is this one. I think these ones are 3.25. I don't know. These were pony ones and don't have the size written on them, but I think I use them as 3.25 because I think I measured them on the thing. And they have my other needle stoppers, but they're not the same. I still have to put sellotape inside of them because the little gap that it goes in is bigger than the little gap on there. So, but those little wires are quite thinner. So I might take that off anyway and try those little things and see if I can put another pair of them on there. But I might have to probably put some super glue on with those ones, I think, because like I'm saying, the wire for them is a little bit thinner. But I do have a 3.25 in these ones as well, so I could use them on these ones, because like you've seen, I do prefer knitting like this instead of in a circle. I have to put those ones down anyway. So that's how much I've got done of the second sleeve on there. It'll not be long, I'll be up to the armholes, because with this being a set-in sleeve, once you get up to the armholes, it doesn't take very much to finish it, because it's not like a raglan. You go further up like that with a raglan, but with this one you go more in a rounded arch thing, and it doesn't take as long once you got to do the shaping for the armholes. So I'll be onto the neckband, and then the fronts for that one will be finished before long as well. And for anyone that might be interested, my pattern, this is the one I'm using for the black one. I did tell you in another video about these are the 22 to 28 inch size that I knitted with the pattern. I have where you do the first hole, the first little holes, and then there's 4 rows after that before you start the next little row, the little holes that come in between the two. So I've added extra 2 instead of doing 4. I've added to 6 rows. So there's actually instead of 16 rows for the 2 lots of the bits of pattern, there are now 20 rows. And I've altered the actual pattern. There was nothing wrong with the pattern before. It's quite okay, the number. If you want to do the 4 rows in it, that's quite all right if you already have this pattern. But if you don't, you can alter that. Just write down that you're doing 6 rows in between instead of 4 rows. But I've altered the PDF on Etsy, so if anyone is getting this pattern now from today, I've been through on all the text part of it and then put it through the PDF format again. So I've altered the pattern to make it 20 rows to the pattern instead of the 16 like there was before. But anyone else that's got it, it'll only be 16 rows to your pattern. So just for anyone that might be thinking, about what I said, I have altered the pattern now. And so any PDFs I send out now will have 16, and any that I print out, I think I have one or two still printed out in with the 16 rows on, but any I print out from now on will have the 20 rows to the whole pattern. That was just a little bit of information for anyone who might be thinking about that pattern. And when I finish, I've dropped my knitting on the floor. When I finish these little ones I'm doing, I'll be trying to find a little bit of time to work out my latest pattern that I haven't had time to make up a PDF and that yet for, because of the knitting I've had to do. I just haven't had time for trying to get these things done. So anyway, that's just a little catch up for what I've been up to, because I haven't had a video for I'm not sure whether it was Friday or Saturday. Might have been Saturday, I think, the last time I had a video, but I'm not sure, I can't remember now. So anyway, give a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you all again sometime. So bye for now.